You are not here by accident. You didn't come into this life merely to get through the day, pay bills, or just survive. You are a divine being, a spiritual entity, temporarily inhabiting a human body. The power that created you, the infinite source of all, placed within you something extraordinary, the power of intention. Now, when most people hear the word intention, they think it means setting goals or having ambition. But true intention isn't about willpower or forcing outcomes. True intention is a field of energy, a vibration that we align ourselves with. It is not something you do, it's something you connect to. It's always there, like the radio waves in the air. You don't create it, you simply tune in. This field of intention is creative, kind, loving, expansive, and abundant. It holds the potential for everything you desire and everything you are meant to become. When you are in harmony with this field, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned with it, life begins to flow. Struggle fades, synchronicities appear, doors open, not because you forced them to, but because you aligned with your higher self. So the question is, how do you align? You begin by quieting the noise of the ego. The ego says, I am what I have, I am what I do, I am what others think of me. But your higher self knows none of that is true. Your higher self whispers, you are already enough, you are whole, you are love. To hear this voice, you must get still. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. In silence, you remember who you really are. When you connect with this presence within you, you begin to act from intention rather than react from fear. You begin to attract what you desire, not because you chase it, but because you become it. If you want more peace, be peace. If you want love, radiate love. If you want abundance, feel abundant now. Your energy creates your reality. You see, the universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your vibration. It responds to your inner state. That's why aligning with your higher self is the most powerful thing you can do. Because when you do, you're no longer trying to swim upstream. You're flowing with the current of life. And in this alignment, something beautiful happens. You let go. You surrender the need to control every detail. You trust. You allow. And you discover that everything you were seeking was already within you. There's a divine timing to your life. Every delay, every setback, every detour, it all had a purpose. The power of intention works not on your timeline, but on divine time. When you align with your higher self, you learn to be patient, to be present, and to know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. So today I invite you to tune in, to step away from the noise of the world and reconnect with that silent knowing inside you. Set your intention not just for what you want to do, but for who you want to be. And then live each moment in harmony with that being. Because when you align with your higher self, life aligns with you. And that, my friends, is the true power of intention. Intention is often misunderstood as merely a focused thought or a clear goal. While those are part of the process, true intention is far more expansive and powerful. It is not just something you think in your mind. It is an energy field, a force that exists beyond your individual will. Intention is the invisible power that creates and orchestrates everything in the universe, from the grew of a tree to the birth of a star. It is the same energy that gives rise to your desires, your inspiration, and your potential. When you understand intention as an energy field, you realize that you are not trying to create from scratch. You are aligning yourself with a force that already exists. This energy field of intention is pure, creative, and abundant. It is always available, always flowing, and it responds not to your words, but to your vibration. When you align yourself with this field through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you begin to experience life differently. You feel more connected, more supported, and more in the flow. You stop feeling as though you are pushing against life, trying to force things to happen. Instead, you experience a sense of ease and synchronicity where the right people, ideas, and opportunities come to you effortlessly. The key to tapping into this energy field is to go beyond intellectual understanding and move into energetic alignment. Thinking positively or setting goals is not enough. You must become the energy of your intention. If your intention is to live in peace, then cultivate the feeling of peace within you now. If your intention is to experience abundance, then embody the vibration of abundance. gratitude, generosity, and trust. The energy you emit is your signal to the universe, and the universe responds accordingly. This energy field of intention is intelligent and responsive. It knows what is for your highest good, and it is always working in your favor, even when you cannot see it. When you align with this field, you begin to trust more and control less. You understand that intention is not about pushing or striving, it's about allowing, it's about stepping into the flow of life, guided by an inner knowing that everything you need is already on its way. This is not passive, it is deeply active, but in a way that feels guided, purposeful, and free from resistance. Connecting to this energy field requires presence. When you are fully present, not distracted by the past or anxious about the future, you are in the most powerful position to align with intention. Presence allows you to listen deeply to your intuition, to feel the subtle nudges of guidance that come from the field itself. These nudges often don't come as loud commands, but as gentle whispers, an idea, a feeling, a sense of knowing. The more you trust and act on these, the more aligned your life becomes. Intention also transcends personal desire. While it can be used to manifest individual goals, its true power lies in aligning with something greater than yourself. When your intention is in service of love, growth, healing, or contribution, it is amplified by the universal field. This is when miracles happen, not because you demanded them, but because you became a channel for the energy that already creates them. In this space, you are not separate from the power of intention, you are a part of it. You don't need to struggle to connect with intention. It is your natural state. The challenge is not creating it, but removing the mental blocks and fears that keep you from aligning with it. Through practices like meditation, gratitude, and self-awareness, you begin to quiet the ego and tune into the energy that has always been within you. When you live from this space, intention becomes more than a thought. It becomes your way of being, your way of creating, and your way of experiencing the magic of life unfolding in perfect harmony. Alignment is a state of harmony where your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in sync with a deeper truth within you. It's not something you acquire from the outside or achieve through external success. It is something you return to, something you remember. True alignment begins from within, and it cannot be forced or manufactured by the ego. The ego, with all its fears, attachments, and constant need for validation, can never bring lasting peace. It is only by transcending the ego's grip and connecting with your inner self that you find true alignment. The ego is loud and demanding. It constantly says, do more, get more, be better. It compares, competes, and complains. It wants recognition and control. The ego thrives on fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of being judged, fear of losing. When you operate from the ego, you are always chasing something outside of yourself, believing that once you get it, you'll finally feel okay. But this is an illusion. Even when you achieve what the ego wants, the satisfaction is temporary. Soon, the ego sets a new target, and the cycle continues. Alignment, on the other hand, comes when you stop chasing and start being. It's the moment you realize that you don't need to become anything. You simply need to allow yourself to be who you truly are. This realization doesn't come from thinking more or doing more. It comes from slowing down, tuning in, and listening to the quiet voice within, the voice of your true self, which is always calm, loving, and present. It is not attached to outcomes. It does not need approval. It is already whole. To experience this inner alignment, you must become aware of the ways the ego leads you away from your center. Notice when your actions are motivated by fear, when you're trying to impress, compete, or prove something. These are signs that the ego is in charge. In those moments, pause. Take a breath, ask yourself, what would love do now? Or what does my heart truly want? These simple questions help you shift your focus inward, reconnecting with the deeper wisdom that lives within you. This process of returning to alignment is not about perfection, it's about awareness, and intention. Every time you choose peace over conflict, compassion over judgment, or authenticity over performance, you are moving closer to alignment. You are stepping out of the ego's grip and into your natural state of balance and clarity. Living in alignment doesn't mean you abandon goals or dreams. It means you pursue them from a different energy, not from lack or fear, but from wholeness and purpose. Your actions become inspired rather than forced. You stop striving and start flowing. Life feels lighter and synchronicities begin to appear, guiding you along your path. When you are aligned within, the outer world reflects that harmony. Relationships improve, challenges become opportunities, and you feel a sense of ease, even amid uncertainty. This is why alignment cannot come from the ego. It requires surrender. The ego wants control, but alignment requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in life, and trust in the process. It means letting go of the need to figure everything out and allowing your inner guidance to lead. This inner guidance, the voice of your higher self, is always available, but it cannot be heard when the ego is making all the noise. In silence, in stillness, in presence, you find the doorway to alignment. It is not something you earn, it is something you allow. The more you connect with your inner self, the more you live from that space of peace and purpose. In this state, you are no longer pushed by fear, but pulled by joy. The ego may still whisper, but it no longer drives your life. You have chosen a deeper way of being, a way that honors your truth and brings lasting fulfillment. Everything in the universe is energy. Every thought you think, every feeling you experience, and every belief you hold carries a unique vibration. These vibrations are not isolated. They ripple outward and interact with the world around you. The truth is, you are not a passive observer of life, you are a powerful creator. The energy you emit through your vibration influences the experiences you attract into your life. This is not wishful thinking or a vague idea, it is a fundamental principle of how the universe operates. Your vibration is like a frequency, much like a radio signal. When you tune your inner frequency to peace, love, and gratitude, you begin to attract experiences, people, and opportunities that match that energy. Conversely, when your vibration is tuned to fear, anger, or lack, you tend to draw in more situations that reinforce those feelings. This is not about blame, it's about awareness. The universe doesn't judge it, simply responds to the signal you're sending out. Many people live unaware of the power they hold through their energy. They react to circumstances, believing that life happens to them. But when you understand that your inner state shapes your outer reality, you begin to take responsibility for your energy. You start to see that you are not at the mercy of events, you are a participant in their creation. Your vibration is the magnet, and your life is the reflection. The good news is that you can shift your vibration at any moment. You are not stuck with the energy of your past or the limitations of your conditioning. Every thought you think, every emotion you allow, and every choice you make can either raise or lower your vibration. When you choose to focus on what you appreciate, when you act with kindness, or when you take time to be still and present, your vibration rises. This higher frequency naturally attracts more uplifting, harmonious experiences. It's important to understand that this is not about pretending to be happy or forcing positive thoughts. Your vibration is not determined by surface-level emotions. It is shaped by your dominant inner state. You can't fake energy. What matters is the authenticity of your feeling. If you are experiencing fear or sadness, the path to raising your vibration is not denial, it is acceptance and presence. By being fully with what is, without resistance, your energy begins to shift naturally. The more you become aware of your vibration, the more empowered you feel. You begin to notice patterns, how certain thoughts drain you while others energize you, How spending time in nature, engaging in meaningful conversations, or practicing gratitude uplifts your energy. You realize that you have the tools to create a life that feels aligned, joyful, and purposeful, not by changing everything outside, but by transforming what's within. Your vibration is your point of attraction. This is why two people can experience the same situation and have entirely different outcomes. One may respond with trust and optimism, and life meets them with support and solutions. Another may react with fear and resistance, and life appears to confirm their worry. The outer world reflects the energy of your inner world, not because of magic, but because of alignment. This principle also applies to your relationships. The people you attract into your life often mirror your energy. If you are grounded in self-love and authenticity, you tend to draw others who reflect those qualities. If you carry unresolved pain or seek validation, you may attract situations that challenge you to heal. Every encounter is an opportunity to become more aware of your vibration and to consciously elevate it. Ultimately, your vibration is your most powerful currency. It shapes not only what you attract, but how you experience what arrives. A high vibration allows you to move through life with grace, to see challenges as growth, and to find joy in the present moment. You don't have to chase experiences or force outcomes. When your vibration is aligned, the right experiences flow to you, and life begins to unfold in harmony with your highest potential. In a world filled with constant noise, stimulation, and distraction, silence has become rare and undervalued. Yet silence holds a power that cannot be found in words, activity, or achievement. It is in silence that you meet yourself beyond roles, labels, and ego. Silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is a sacred space where your true essence is revealed and where your connection to Source becomes clear. The Source, whether you call it God, the universe, spirit, or simply the divine intelligence behind all creation, is not something outside of you. It lives within you, and silence is the bridge that leads you there. Most people live in a constant state of mental noise. Thoughts race, worries build, and the mind seeks to solve, analyze, and control. This mental chatter creates a wall between you and the deeper wisdom that exists in stillness. The ego thrives in noise, feeding off the need for attention, validation, and control. But the soul, the true self, is nourished by silence. When you allow yourself to be still without trying to do or achieve anything, you begin to sense a presence that is always with you. This presence is peaceful, loving, and unchanging. It is the source from which you came and to which you are always connected. Silence is where you access guidance that transcends logic. Answers to your deepest questions do not arise from overthinking. They arise from listening. In silence, clarity emerges not because you force it, but because you create space for it. The mind may struggle with uncertainty, but the soul is never confused. It knows because it is aligned with the source of all wisdom. Silence is how you tap into that knowing. It is how you tune into the energy of creation itself and remember that you are not separate. You are part of it. Practicing silence is not just about physical quiet, it's about inner stillness. You can be in a quiet room and still be filled with mental noise. True silence is a state of being where you release the need to analyze, plan, or control. You surrender to the present moment and allow yourself to simply be. In this space, your awareness expands. You begin to notice the subtle beauty around you, the sound of your breath, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the life force flowing through everything. In this heightened awareness, you feel the connection to something greater. You feel the presence of soul. Through silence, you also reconnect with your intuition. Intuition is the voice of your soul, and it speaks softly. When you are caught up in the noise of the world, you cannot hear it. But in silence, it becomes clear. You start to feel nudges, insights, and inner guidance that lead you in the direction of your highest good. This guidance is gentle yet powerful. It doesn't come from fear or urgency. It comes from love and truth. And the more you honor it, the more aligned your life becomes. Silence is also healing. It allows you to process emotions, release tension, and realign with peace. In silence, there is no judgment. You are free to be exactly as you are. This acceptance is transformative. It creates a space where healing occurs naturally, not through effort, but through presence. You begin to feel whole again, not because something external has changed, but because you've returned to the essence of who you are. In a noisy world, choosing silence is a radical act. It is a declaration that your inner life matters, that your connection to Source is a priority. You don't need special rituals or complex practices, just a willingness to be still and listen. Even a few moments of silence each day can shift your energy, open your heart, and reconnect you to the source of peace, love, and wisdom that lives within you. From this connection, everything changes, not because the world is different, but because you. Letting go is one of the most powerful and yet most misunderstood practices in life. Many people think letting go means giving up, being passive, or not caring about outcome. In truth, letting go is not about surrendering your dreams, it's about surrendering your need to control how and when they manifest. It is an act of trust, of recognizing that there is a greater intelligence at work in the universe. One that often sees what you cannot. When you let go, you are not losing control. You are aligning with the flow of life and allowing divine timing to unfold in your favor. Divine timing is the perfect orchestration of events, people, and circumstances that come together at just the right moment for your highest good. It's not random and it's never late, but it rarely aligns with the schedule the ego demands. The ego wants results now. It wants guarantees, certainty, and control. When things don't go as planned, the ego panics, it doubts, worries, and pushes harder, trying to force life to bend to its will. But this creates tension, frustration, and resistance, which only block the very outcomes you are seeking. Letting go is about releasing that resistance. It's a shift from forcing to allow. It's understanding that your role is to set clear intentions, take inspired action, and then release attachment to the outcome. Trusting divine timing means believing that everything is happening exactly as it should, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Sometimes, delays are not denials, they are preparations. The space between your desire and its fulfillment is not empty, it is filled with growth, learning, and unseen alignment. During these times, it's easy to fall into impatience or discouragement. But every challenge, every detour, and every pause is part of a larger plan. Sometimes, what you want is not yet ready for you, or you are not yet ready for it. Divine timing ensures that what comes into your life is not only what you want, but what you are prepared to receive and sustain. Trusting this process requires faith, and that faith is born in the moments when you cannot see the full picture, but choose to believe in the unseen order behind it all. Letting go also involves trusting that if something doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to, or it's making room for something better. This trust liberates you from anxiety. You stop clinging to outcomes and begin living with a sense of peace, knowing that what is for you will not pass you by. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop worrying. You become open to life, receptive to opportunities, and attuned to guidance that may lead you in new and unexpected directions. When you trust divine timing, you stop measuring your worth by external. You understand that your value is not tied to how fast you succeed or how much you accomplish. You are enough right now, and your life is unfolding in exactly the way it's meant to. This trust allows you to be present. It helps you enjoy the journey rather than anxiously waiting for the destination. Letting go and trusting divine timing also allows you to live with more grace and gratitude. You begin to notice the beauty in small moments, the lessons in challenges, and the synchronicities that show you're on the right path. Life becomes less of a struggle and more of a dance, a co-creation between your intentions and the wisdom of the universe. You start to understand that what is meant for you cannot be missed, and that the timing of your life is not random. It is sacred. In this space of surrender, you find freedom. You are no longer burdened by the need to control. You are free to live, to breathe, to trust, and to know that you are always being guided, even in silence, even in uncertainty. Living from intention is a radical shift in how you experience and shape your life. It means no longer drifting through each day reacting to circumstances, but instead approaching life with conscious awareness, clarity, and purpose. Intention is the inner compass that guides your thoughts, decisions, and actions in alignment with your highest values and deepest. When you live from this place, you are no longer driven by external pressures or the expectations of others. You become the deliberate creator of your reality rather than a passive participant. Many people live by default, allowing old habits, fears, and unconscious patterns to dictate their lives. They wake up, go through the motions, and respond automatically to whatever the day brings. This reactive way of living often leads to frustration, confusion, and a sense of unfulfillment. But when you begin to live intentionally, every moment becomes an opportunity to choose who you want to be and how you want it to show up in the world. You begin to live with awareness of your power, and life takes on a new depth of meaning and purpose. Living from intention starts with clarity. It requires you to get still and ask yourself powerful questions. What truly matters to me? What kind of person do I want to be? What energy do I want to bring into my relationships, my work, These questions shift your focus from outcomes to essence. From trying to control external events to cultivating a rich inner life. Intention is not just about achieving goals, it's about embodying qualities such as love, kindness, peace, or resilience. It's about choosing to live in alignment with your soul rather than your ego. When you set a clear intention, it becomes a lens through which you see the world. You begin to make choices that reflect your inner values rather than being swayed by fear, doubt, or social conditioning. Intention becomes a filter, helping you discern what supports your highest self and what distracts or diminishes it. This clarity empowers you to say no to what no longer serves you and yes to what nourishes your growth. As you live from intention, your energy shifts. You are no longer scattered or disconnected. You begin to move with purpose, and that purpose radiates through your thoughts, words, and actions. This energy is powerful. It influences not only your experience, but also the experiences those around you. People sense when someone is living from a place of intention. It creates a presence, a sense of authenticity and groundedness that is magnetic and inspiring. Life also begins to flow more smooth. Opportunities, relationships, and resources align with your energy because you are clear and consistent in what you are radiating. This is not about forcing life to go your way. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of the universe. When your intention is rooted in love, service, or growth, you tap into a higher frequency. Life responds to this frequency with synchronicities, support, and inspiration. Living intentionally also brings you are no longer trapped in the anxiety of trying to control outcomes or seeking approval. You trust yourself in the process of life. Even when challenges arise, you face them with a sense of centeredness. Because your intention keeps you anchored. You know that every experience is part of your journey and an opportunity to deepen your alignment. Ultimately, living from intention transforms life because it transforms you. It awakens you to your own power, your own choices,
in your own capacity to create meaning and fulfillment. Life no longer happens to you, you engage with it consciously, purposefully, and joyfully. You begin to live each day, not as a repetition of the past, but as a fresh canvas for your highest expression. Through intention, you reclaim your role as the conscious author of your life.